Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well and having a great Tuesday night. Tonight we're going to be talking about the atmospheric river event that will occur in two portions of the northwestern United States over the next couple of days, and specifically we'll be looking more at Northern California for that, and we'll just be breaking that down with some of the models, looking at some of the impacts and stuff kind of like rainfall potential, potential wind gust and stuff like that. And then we'll also kind of look at this other system right here that could potentially, well not potentially, that will deliver some heavy snow in some areas into the northeast, and even some snow into the portions of the Appalachian Mountains really over the next couple of days into this coming weekend. So let's go ahead and get started with tonight's update. So now looking at the GFS here for the western US, specifically the northwestern United States. And so as you can see right here, here's our low pressure in the top left hand corner of this area map here. And then this is a very strong low pressure, and so this will basically kind of kickstart our atmospheric river event into the northwest US. And as you can see already, there's rain and snow falling in two parts of the western United States, and so this will continue, and this is tomorrow on Wednesday. And as you can see right here, some very heavy rain and snow will be falling into California as well as Washington State and Oregon. And so the heavy rain will start tomorrow into California, and then we will obviously have some heavy snow falling in with that. And then we'll kind of get a secondary band with this other low pressure that'll come through sometime maybe Thursday night into Friday, and this will dump even more rain and even snow into parts of the northwestern US and then into California as well. So this will be a kind of concerning event, especially for Northern California, and we'll look at the flood risk in just a second. But this will be something to continue to monitor over the next couple of days. And then on the latest GFS, it even has another system kind of moving through and delivering a pretty strong kind of snowstorm event like here into the western US, so we'll have to watch that as well. And then real quick, we'll look at the European model as well, and we'll look at the 18Z run. And so same thing here, snow into parts of California as well as Nevada and Washington State and Oregon, and just mainly the northwest as a whole. And then you have that secondary kind of batch of rain that moves in maybe Thursday into Friday. A very strong system there. Strong winds with this. Heavy rain, heavy snow will be possible. And then again, that moves through. And then the European kind of shows another low pressure getting going through here, but it really depends how far south it is for there really to be any snow or extra snow that can mix in there. But I'll definitely say that I think there'll be another potential for snow early next week, so we'll have to continue to monitor that. And now just real quickly, looking at the day 1 through 3 convective outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. And so looking right here into parts of the southeastern United States, we have just a general thunderstorm risk here for a system that is kind of lifting to the north, and you'll just have that general thunderstorm risk possible there. And then looking at the northwestern US again with that atmospheric river event, that'll be pushing all that moisture in there, and you'll have that small area into parts of Washington State and Oregon that will promote that general thunderstorm risk for tonight. And then looking at our day 2 convective outlook again, eastern US, we'll have that system continuing to move on out to basically the kind of lift off to the northeast, and again another general thunderstorm risk up here in the northwestern United States for day 2 on Wednesday, November the 20th, 2024. And then lastly, looking at our day 3 outlook, we do not have any thunderstorms forecast at this time as of the latest 1930Z outlook from today on Tuesday, November the 19th, 2024. And now looking at the excessive rainfall outlook for today on Tuesday for the northwestern United States. And so we just have a slight risk of flash flooding occurring into parts of southwestern Oregon and then into northwestern California. And then we have a large marginal risk around that for tonight, on Tuesday. And so now looking at the day 2 outlook for tomorrow on Wednesday, November the 20th, we have a moderate risk here, and that is at least a 40% chance of flash flooding occurring into these areas here. And I'll get a little closer. And again, that is this area right here with those 3 risks, and that is a moderate risk here in this red area. And then we have a slight risk here into this area, into northwestern California, and then into a small section of southwestern Oregon. And then we have a 5% marginal risk around that, and is that green area right there. And that is again for tomorrow on Wednesday, November the 20th, 2024. Now looking at Thursday, November 21st, 2024, for this outlook, and we have a high risk, at least a 70% chance of flash flooding occurring into a section of California here in that pink area right there. And then we have a moderate risk, which is that red area, at least a 40% chance of flash flooding occurring on Thursday. And then around that again is a slight risk, that yellow risk here right there, and that is at least again a 15% chance of flash flooding occurring in that area. And then we also have this large marginal risk here, which is a 5% risk, at least 5% risk of flash flooding occurring in this area again on Thursday, November the 21st, 2024. And now looking at the day 4 outlook for Friday, November the 22nd, we have again a slight risk here into parts of California and southwestern Oregon, and that is that yellow area there, a 15% chance or higher, or at least a 15% chance, of flash flooding occurring in that area. And then around that is a large marginal risk, and that is again at least a 5% chance of flash flooding occurring in that area on Friday, November the 22nd. And then finally, real quick here, looking at the day 5 outlook on Saturday, November the 23rd, we just have a smaller marginal risk, at least a 5% risk chance, of flash flooding occurring in this area. And that is again for Saturday, November the 23rd, 2024. Now looking at the wind accumulations on the European weather model here. And so the wind accumulations is just basically a part of the model where we can take a look at the highest accumulated wind totals in some of these areas. And this is from tonight at 10 p.m. through Saturday the 23rd at 10 p.m. So 3 days and 12 hours. And this is that 3.5 day period. And so really just looking at the northwestern United States for right now, especially on the west coast of the United States, the coast of Washington State, Oregon, and really northern California. Please stay weather aware and over the next couple of days, because there is going to be a chance for wind gust, or not a wind gust, but total wind accumulations and potential wind gust of over 50 to even 60 mile per hour winds showing up there, 64 miles per hour showing up there, well into central Oregon, potentially 40 mile per hour wind gust between this time period here, possible there, even into Washington State, 70 mile per hour reading showing up there. And then looking down here into California, 40 and 50 mile per hour wind gusts possible throughout this period, even closer to the coast in the upper 50 mile per hour range. And then again, even farther inland, even this section into Idaho, 30 mile per hour winds showing up there, wind gusts, not constant winds, but wind gusts, even into Nevada, almost 40 mile per hour wind gusts possible there into some areas. So I would definitely say there'll be widespread 30 to 40 plus mile per hour wind gusts into parts of the northwestern United States, with even isolated areas seeing 60 and maybe even 70 mile per hour wind gust possible. And even into the higher elevations into the northwestern U.S., I would not be surprised if we see wind gust at least 60 to 70 miles per hour as that system moves through. So again, definitely continue to be weather aware over the next couple of days if you live in the areas that'll be impacted by this atmospheric river. Now just quickly looking at snowfall totals, potential snowfall totals on the European weather model here. And so first looking at California, we'll kind of move up to the north. And so the European wants to show in some elevations into the California mountains, even some areas showing up to almost 70 inches and even 70 inches showing up in some spots in the California mountains here, even into really kind of central California, even into the central California mountains here. Several inches of snow possible there in those areas, but with the most concentrated area being into the northern California mountains, even into Oregon as well. Some areas seeing several inches to even almost 2 feet of snow, over 2 feet of snow, even into Idaho as well. Central Idaho, over 1.5 feet in some areas possible of snow. And then even into Washington State, some areas seeing several inches to possibly even over 1 foot of snow possible in those areas, and as well as Montana here, even a couple inches possible in western Montana. But again, that is just a kind of potential snowfall amount. This is not going to be the exact amount that'll fall, but this is just kind of a range from the European model, so we can get a better look at the places that'll get the most snow. And now to move on to the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, we're going to be talking about this other system that could deliver some heavy snow to some areas throughout the next couple of days, mainly into Thursday into Friday of this week, and then eventually into this weekend. But going back here, you're going to have this low pressure moving through in this trough by late Wednesday into early on Thursday morning, and you're already going to be seeing snow into some sections, even into Wisconsin and Michigan here, even into Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, North Carolina, the North Carolina mountains, Tennessee mountains, really the Appalachians as a whole. And then going back here, you're going to get some snow starting to fall, maybe even potentially Thursday morning into the Northeast U.S. and even into Pennsylvania, New York state, some heavy snow falling there. Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, some snow falling there, and just mainly into this section right here into the Appalachian mountains. Here definitely will be an area to watch for that snowfall event. And so you could even get some more kind of wraparound snow as this system exits the United States kind of early next week, really Sunday into Monday, and then that system will be out early next week. But that'll be some of the areas to watch throughout the next couple of days into this weekend for the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast United States. And now looking at potential snowfall totals on the GEFS ensembles here. And so this gives us a kind of an average look here from the individual members on the GEFS put together to make an average. And as you can see here into New York State and Pennsylvania, a large section of heavy snow will be possible there. And then looking here into the Appalachian Mountains, you'll have that chance for snow there, as well as the snow up here that'll move kind of to the southeast throughout Wisconsin, Michigan, even Indiana, Ohio, eastern Kentucky, and West Virginia. So that'll definitely be something to continue to watch here. But just real quick, looking at some of the totals, and then we'll look at the Northeast U.S. in just a second. But even on the GEFS ensembles, 9, 10, 11, maybe even 12 inches possible in some areas showing up on the GEFS ensembles here. And so that'll be mainly into New York State and Pennsylvania here, and then into West Virginia, even 5, 6, 7, 8 inches possible there, showing up on the GEFS ensembles. Western Virginia, a couple inches possible there. The Tennessee, North Carolina mountains, maybe even some areas of an inch or two possible there. And then looking up here into the entire state of Ohio, really could see, I would say, at least a dusting of snow in some areas. Maybe not the entire state, but at least some areas could see a dusting, and then other areas over an inch and a half possible into Indiana, even almost 2 inches possible in some areas into the central and northern sections of the state. And then now we'll look at, we'll go back here and go to the Great Lakes region real quick. And so we do have this isolated area that could see 5 and 6 areas of snow possible into Michigan. Throughout most of the state, could see at least a couple inches there throughout from now until Sunday possibly. I know I forgot to mention that earlier, but all these totals will be from now until Sunday, not the entire, not just one day worth of snow, but a few days worth of snow falling. And then looking at the northeast United States, even into areas into New Hampshire and Vermont, into Maine, a couple inches to 4 and maybe even 5 inches possible there. And then even into again, New York State, the northern sections, a couple to maybe 4 and 5 inches possible there. And then into a section of Massachusetts, even 1.5 to maybe 2 inches possible there. But again, that is going to be it for the snowfall totals for tonight. That's going to be it for tonight's update. I really do appreciate all of y'all watching, and I'm going to try to have another video out maybe by the end of this week. But again, I do really appreciate all of y'all watching, and I do apologize for kind of being a little sloppy on tonight's video. It's been a while since I've talked about snow and just really the western U.S. I do apologize for that as well. I know there hasn't been a whole lot going on weather-wise in the western U.S. besides some snow kind of moving through on and off into the areas, but that's not uncommon for this time of year. But this is a rather rare event, this atmospheric river, so I figured I would cover that. But again, I'll try to have another video out late this week. If not, then I'll have one out hopefully by this weekend. But I hope y'all continue to stay safe and have a great rest of y'all's Tuesday night.